Hello everybody and welcome to day 21 of our 90-day transformation process from mediocrity to mastery. My name is Matthew Armstrong, and did I say that already? It's early in the morning. And I'm delighted to be here again, speaking with you, now doing these early morning smiths just after 6 a.m. And I'm loving getting up and doing these things first thing in the morning. It's exciting. When I wake up, I'm like, okay, I'm getting up now to do this live training globally, and I feel enthusiastic about it and inspired to do it, and that's what I wish for you. I wish you to wake up in the morning and be enthusiastic and inspired to get out of bed and do what you love and love what you do, because that's our chief aim here. Our chief aim is that in life, that you do what you love and you love what you do. That's also called self-actualization. When we go up the scale of living, there's different levels of living, right? Different levels. And, you know, there's very low levels. You know, the very low levels, if you look at, you know, maybe homeless people, and all they're looking for is their next hit, their next drink, their next bit of food. They're, you know, thinking about where they're going to sleep that night, and that's all they can think of. They can't think of family or helping others or, you know, personal growth or anything like that. It's just in total survival mode. You know, is someone going to come and mug me? Is someone going to go come and take my blanket away from me? They're watching their backs. They're just looking where they can get the next drink, or where they can get the next bit of food, or next bit of shelter. And yeah, it's a sorry state to be in, right? It's a sad state to be in. But anyone can get out of any state, right? Anyone can move up the levels. And the level that we're looking at is the highest level, and that is a level where we are doing what we love and loving what we do. Because a lot of people out there that seem to be living on a high level of life, but they're not inspired to get out of bed every morning. They're not inspired to go to their job. The world's been set up these days. Society has been set up, not so we can win, but so we don't lose. Of course, there's still people that do lose, but society's been set up that, you know, anyone that can just about keep it together, right? Just about keep themselves together, that they can live a mediocre sort of life, right? But it's not set up for us to master our lives. It's set up that there's going to be some, let's see, some suffering, some frustrations, but the frustrations aren't great enough that we wish to make huge changes. If that makes sense, right? It's like the story of the guy that goes up to someone's house. The salesman, he knocks on the door, and as he's waiting for the guy to open the door, he notices a dog lying there on the guy's front driveway or front porch, and the dog is moaning, complaining, you know, just moaning like that. And the guy comes to the door, opens the door, and he says, he introduced himself, and he said, before we have a conversation, I just noticed your dog there. He doesn't seem too well. He's lying there moaning, whining. And the guy said, oh, no, he's fine, he's fine. He's just lying on a nail. There's a nail sticking up out of the ground. And the guy says, well, why doesn't he move? You know, why is he lying there whining? Why doesn't he move? And the guy says, well, I guess it just doesn't hurt enough. You know, and that's the way it is for many of us. Many people go through their lives complaining and whining about stuff, and how the world isn't right for them, and how, you know, things are unfair, and how, you know, they have to do this job, and there's nothing else they can do, and they don't have the right resources, they don't have the prospects, they, you know, whatever, they were dealt a bad hand, or, you know, whining, complaining through life. But it just doesn't hurt enough to make a change. It just doesn't hurt enough to make a change. And sometimes the only time some people make a change, like a big change in their life, is when their back is really against the wall. You know, when the chips are all down, and there's no complaining, you got to make a big move, right? So the dog lying there on the front driveway, sure, he's the nail stuck in him. He's not going to move, right? He's just going to sit there and do nothing, lie there and do nothing. But if a car drives in and is going to drive over him, that dog will jump up and be out of the way in a second, right? Because the potential pain is far worse. So the world has been set up that, you know, a lot of those potential pains have been taken out of our environment. The car driving over us, or we don't exercise, so we get fatter and fatter and more unhealthy and less mobile, and because we don't have that possibility of being chased down by a tiger or a lion or whatever. You know, there's no need for us to run. You know, we know we'll feel better. We'll feel better if we do exercise, but the potential pain of not doing it isn't that great in the moment, right? So sometimes we have to set that up for ourselves. Sometimes we have to look at the potential pain, not just in the moment, but years down the line if we don't make a change. You know, look at that, and then, you know, bring that into the present and feel those feelings of pain and frustration and fear at a very magnified level in order to make a shift and make a change. And or just look at what really inspires us, right? Look at all the beautiful things we could create in our life if we just took some decisive action and kept moving in spite of our fears. And look at that then. And then that can get us into action as well. Those two things are our primary motivator, pain and pleasure, right? Use them to your advantage. Use them to your advantage. So, you know, if this is the first Hangout Live training you're watching this, then you won't know, but we're reading from the book The Values Factor by Dr. John Demartini. We're following teachings in this book. You can buy the book at drdemartini.com or get it on Amazon. There's exercises throughout the book, the process. Like I said, this is day 21, so wow, what we've done over the past 21 days is quite incredible, actually. Quite incredible. What a shift, you know. So make sure after you complete watching this training now that you go back to day 1 and you start watching sequentially and you complete all the exercises as they are given, so you can get the maximum impact and benefits from doing this. Make sense? Great. So I'm drinking blackstrap molasses here, just so you know. It's a little known health drink that is chock-a-block full of minerals. The sugar cane, the roots go very, very deep, over 10 meters into the ground, and to pull up the deep minerals from the ground. So a lot of minerals in here that we're not otherwise getting in many of our foods these days. So a lot of people don't know about this. Blackstrap molasses, very, very good for you. Tastes good as well. Right, so we're talking about, we're on the chapter of relationships. So all this week, every day is going to be something about relationships as we're reading from Dr. Demartini's book here. This is stuff that you won't have heard before. Stuff that you won't have heard from other relationship teachings or other relationship books. And at the same time, it's powerful and it's simple, it's profound, right? Getting a lot from this myself. And just to share a little story, I find it interesting, you know. Relationships there's probably nothing in life that will challenge us more, that can potentially give us as much pain as relationships. But on the flip side, there's probably nothing else that will give us as much pleasure and as much growth as relationships as well. So we have this equal balance. So it's wise to embrace relationships and not to shy away from them, to look to develop deeper relationships with with everyone in our life that we wish to be in contact with. Yeah. And through the teachings of this book, we'll learn how to do that on a much deeper level. But one quick story I find it interesting that I'm no stranger to criticism, right? When you put yourself out there, you get criticism, and you got to just be okay with it. You know, you got to realize that you know it's never a personal attack on you when someone criticizes you, especially if it's just like a wild attack. It's not like really constructive, or this is where you can improve and things like that. But when it's just like wild attacks, it makes me smile, it makes me laugh, and at the same time, sometimes I can get caught off guard now and again and go, what's that all about? And then look at that person a bit deeper. And whenever I do that, I find out, especially through YouTube, that that's just the way that person is. They talk to everybody like that. They're just seeing what is a reflection in themselves. They're really just talking about themselves. A lot of times when people criticize you, they're really just talking about what they're thinking and feeling about themselves. So once we realize that, then we realize that it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. And one comment I got yesterday from yesterday's hangout, after I finished the hangout, my first early morning one, I thought, well, I'm not usually at my peak in early mornings anyway. So I went into the video that's in YouTube after we do the live training here. It goes into YouTube, and the first comment was, LOL, this guy looks like an idiot. And wonder why he's saying that. I'm thinking, what was it about me that was looking like an idiot? I wonder what specifically it was. Because sometimes when someone makes such a sweeping sort of attack or statement, then you can ask the question, what specifically is it that that person is seeing? And if you ask someone a question like that, they've really got no answer. They've really got no answer. So anyway, it was quite funny because he said it right beside the picture of his face, which is his thumbnail. So he says, this guy looks like an idiot. So he wasn't actually saying it about himself. He wrote it in his face. So I clicked on his channel anyway to have a look at it. And he's got some videos up himself, so I thought I'll click on a video here. So I clicked on a video, and it's a video of him and his son with their old computer that doesn't work anymore out by the trash can, and he says, we're going to throw the computer away because it doesn't work anymore, but first of all, we're going to smash it up so no homeless guy can get it and benefit from it. How weird is that? So instead of giving it away to charity, or giving away that you refurbished, or even giving it to a homeless person or whatever, he decides that him and his son, he's teaching this to his son, they got a hammer and they video this and put it on YouTube of them smashing up their computer before they throw it away so no one else can benefit from that computer. So I'm not one to judge, but I just saw the irony of it, where he's watching my video, and I guess his remark was directed at me that I look like an idiot. But then looking at his actions in his video, that seems to be a bit more idiotic, I think. That seems to be the behavior of a 7-year-old child who is being really childish, because most 7-year-old children wouldn't actually behave like that at all. Who's being really childish. So quite often, what we see in others is a reflection of something within ourselves, and also, that there just would have been a complete disconnect with that guy and with me. However he came to watch my video, I don't know. I don't know how he got onto my channel or got to watch this series. But from his perspective, his way of living, his belief system, which I could see in his videos, him suddenly watching this, he would just, it would have it'd be complete conflict with his values, right? He and I would have so little in common as regards to our highest values, I guess. Another one of his videos was people holding each other upside down while they did a challenge of drinking out of a beer keg, drinking beer while they're upside down. You know, stuff like that. So you know, this is life, right? This is life. You know, whenever we receive criticism, sometimes we just gotta not take it. Well, definitely not take it personally, because it's never personal. It's always just what the person is representing from what is inside them, right? Unless they are a teacher and we are their student and they're helping us to grow by saying, okay, you need to change this, this, and this. You know, that's different, right? But when someone just blatantly or, you know, sporadically just starts criticizing here, there, and everywhere with no seeming point to it, then yeah, don't worry about it. You know, don't worry about it. It's them. It's them. So let's carry on with our reading from the book, and we are on page 134. And by the way, I am still yet to do the previous exercise, and I shall do it today. Just let you know, hold me accountable. I will do it. The previous one, I'll do it today. So now we're on page 134, exercise 1. So the following exercise can help you and your relationship partner communicate in a caring way. You can also use this exercise with a friend, a business partner, a family member, or anyone with whom you wish to enhance the quality of your relationship. Exercise 1. Communicating about values with your partner. This simple exercise is one of the most powerful I know. It may take a couple of hours, but it can pay off in a lifetime of communication and caring. The more links you make between your highest values and your partner's, the more you will appreciate what you're doing for them and what they're doing for you. The more you appreciate each other's highest values, the less you will have alternating monologues, and the more you will have real communicative dialogues. Remember, everybody wants to be loved and appreciated for who they are, not for the fantasy that you might be projecting onto them. When you emphasize your highest values over theirs, you will be careless, and you will care less about their values than yours. When you emphasize their highest values over yours, you'll be carefully walking on eggshells. But when you honor equally your highest values and theirs, and when you communicate what is important to you in terms of what is important to them, you will grow in your relationships. Appreciating and loving each other more deeply, that is the secret to a lasting and fulfilling relationship. So instructions. 1. You and your relationship partner each update your own list of values, identifying the top 3. Make sure that these are current highest values and your lives are actually demonstrating. 2. Each of you asks, how is my dedicating my life to my first top value helping you fulfill your top 3 values? Each of you must answer this question at least 50 times. 3. Then ask, how is my dedicating my life to my second value helping you fulfill your top 3 values? Each of you answers this question at least 50 times. Next question, how is my dedicating my life to my third value helping you fulfill your top 3 values? Each of you answers this question 50 times. Then ask, how is my partner dedicating their life to their highest values, serving me in fulfilling my 3 highest values? Each of you must answer this question at least 50 times. 6. Next ask, how is my partner dedicating their life to their second highest value, serving me in fulfilling my 3 highest values? Each of you must answer this question at least 50 times. Finally, ask, how is my partner dedicating their life to their third highest value, serving me in fulfilling my 3 highest values? Each of you must answer this question at least 50 times. Note, It is wise to update this exercise every quarter to keep your communication refreshed. So that's a serious exercise there, and that's going to take quite a bit of energy and focus and time to break through various thresholds that you'll come across as you do that, right? So if you start with that, and even if you spend 15 minutes a day with each other doing that until you've completed it, it might take a week or 2 weeks or something like that. That will be very valuable. Don't think you've got to do it all in one chunk. You can chop it down to 15 minutes a day that you connect with your partner and talk about your values and answer those questions. So, how the values factor can transform your relationships. When you don't understand your own highest values, you're more likely to have volatility in your relationships. You're more likely to have unrealistic expectations of yourself or others. You're more likely to have difficulty communicating with loved ones. You're more likely to minimize or exaggerate yourself. You're more likely to depend upon or even be addicted to a particular person or relationship, or to be completely independent from or even isolated from others. You're more likely to have others push you around or bully you, or to be the one who pushes or bullies in turn. You're more likely to settle for less than what you truly love. Your relationships will likely be more vulnerable to anger and frustration. You're more likely to be careless or careful rather than caring. You're more likely to be a follower than a leader of the family. You're more likely to compare yourself to others or envy others rather than to awaken your inner leader. When you understand and acknowledge your own and others' highest values, you can select a partner who offers you a wiser balance of challenge and support. You can more wisely recognize or select your intimate partner through a realistic process of selection rather than seeking a fantasy. You can more effectively communicate with your partner based on understanding and appreciating their highest values. You can develop realistic expectations and standards in a relationship. You can awaken or reawaken sexual intimacy in an atmosphere involving a true understanding of trust and meaningful communication. You can break through the illusion that some have labeled betrayal and understand how to handle such an illusion effectively. You can come to see that if you feel betrayed, that is less because of what others have done to you than because of what you have done to yourself by unwisely expecting others to live in your highest values and not their own. Either of you might also feel betrayed if you feel that your partner has provided you less value than any of your other options. For example, I expected you to make me feel appreciated, but you are often critical of the way I like to spend time watching sports on TV. I have a better time watching sports with my friends than I do hearing you criticize me. So I feel betrayed by the way you have failed to meet my expectations for building up my self-esteem. Or, I expected you to make me feel loved and secure, but when you spend much of the weekend playing golf, I feel betrayed. I get more value out of spending time with my friends, talking about an hour a week, watching TV, and maybe going to a movie or out to dinner. So I feel betrayed that I have married someone who did not meet my expectations for alleviating my loneliness. If you can break through these illusions, you can see that your partner has not betrayed you. They have simply not met the unrealistic expectations you have projected onto them. You are more likely to create a lasting and fulfilling relationship. You can raise children together with an appreciation that you, your partner, and each of your children has his or her own set of highest values. You can manage family dynamics among several individuals, each of whom has their own set of highest values. All right, so we're going to finish our reading right there for today. A bit of a shorter one, but it was, it wasn't as flowing. There's an exercise in there. There's the two different sides. If you don't understand your partner's highest values, and if you do communicate, the difference is night and day, obviously. So next is some really cool stories that Dr. Demartini talks about. That's going to be worth getting into. It's going to definitely make a lot of sense We'll read through those tomorrow. So start that exercise. Start that exercise. Like I got myself a pad especially for these exercises. So that's just my pad, my writing pad, especially for that. And so I just start them in there, and I'll give so many pages for that exercise in relationships, and just do 50 minutes a day. Yeah, if we can manage that, transform our relationships. Awesome stuff. So if you're in my team, then we're going to be doing another hangout in just a couple of minutes, and I will have sent you the link. If you're my team, you will receive the link, so check your email, and we're going to do a mastermind where we can learn and discover how we can do exactly what we love and love what we do, and get to earn at least 10K per month doing that, because that, to me, is when we're truly out of survival mode and we can live the life of our dreams for most of us, right? So that's going to be happening on another channel. Just change the channel. That's going to be happening there. If you're not my team, you'd like to be part of that, then you can click on the link below and join my team and get on your way to financial independence, financial freedom, and also be doing something that you love and be able to live anywhere in the world you want and be able to do that. It's an awesome thing. So much appreciation. Thank you for watching today. I look forward to tuning in again tomorrow. Please leave me your comments. No matter what your comments are, that we can learn something from them, whether they're critical or just curious or what. We can learn something. So maybe something to talk about and expand on, right? So please leave your comments. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button and share the video, share the hangout. That's a great thing too. Okay, thanks for watching. See you again this time, this place tomorrow. Goodbye.